Hello dear students, welcome back to the video lesson of chapter number 2 of history, in which we are discussing about how, when and where. So let's start with the periodization of history. In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist and a political philosopher, he published a massive 3-volume work, a book, and the name of the book it was A History of British India. In this, he divided Indian history into 3 periods, and these were Hindu, Muslim, and British. Though that periodization that came to be widely accepted. But can you think of any problem with this way of looking at Indian history? So why do we try and divide history into different periods? We do so in an attempt to capture the characteristics of a time. James Mill he thought that all Asian societies were at a lower level of civilization than Europe. According to his telling of history, before the British came to India, Hindu and Muslim rulers, they ruled the country. Religious intolerance were there, caste taboos and superstitions they practices which dominated the social life. He also felt that only the British rule that could civilize India and teach them manners, arts and laws. So moving away from British classification, historians they have usually divided Indian history into 3 periods, and these were ancient, medieval and modern. This division it has also its problems. It's a periodization that is borrowed from the West, where the modern period that was associated with the growth of all forces of modernity, including science, reason, democracy, etc. Medieval, this was a term used to describe a society where these features of modern society they did not exist. So modern period that is related to growth of all the forces of modernism. But under the British rule, people were not getting modernized, basically the Indian people. So therefore the name changed to colonial period. So when the subjugation of one country by another leads to political, economic, social, cultural changes, that is termed as the colonization. Sources of writing history. So the sources that historians use in writing, they included official records of the British administration for British. The act of writing that was very important. So every plan, policy, agreement that was in writing. British they also kept all the documents preserved in the record rooms, which were attached to all administrative departments. So for the same purpose they set up archives, and the National Archive of India that is situated in Delhi, which was set up in the year 1920. So basically it's a record room where all the documents and the letters from government and the various administrators they have been arranged as per dates from 18th century and are preserved in good conditions. So dear students, this was all about this module. I hope you will find the module beneficial. Thank you. Have a nice day.